So, hello everyone, Monir, my review of Black Clover episode 83, and just what the f***, right? Draw? A freaking draw? Oh, it's so silly. The draw was so silly. I mean, they clearly beat him, and still a draw, because Krista was, and it wasn't even good to explain either. It wasn't even good to explain how it turned into a draw, because it's like, I guess the crystal was just a lot of damage on it, so you kind of broke while they were fighting, right? Yeah, it wasn't even like that to explain either how it happened at the same time and so on. Really silly, yeah. And if Asta was like 1 second faster, they would win. So if it stopped at the damn speech, they just went for it right away, he would win, right? So that's stupid. That was really stupid. And I think that the big issue for me, my main love, is that the next episode is going to be the final now, right? And it felt like it should be such a good matchup if you're gonna have the actual final with Asta, Mimosa, you know, check my Waifu list, yeah, Mimosa and Asta, oh yes, versus of course Asta's rival, of course, Yuno, and her love rival, right, Noelle. So it'll be like a great rival battle there, where Noelle is like, I'm gonna beat this woman, you tried to steal my Asta, right? And of course Yuno's like, Asta, I will beat you, I'm the strongest brother, yeah, so they will fight, right? So I felt like a great match made in heaven there. That kind of rivalry battle would be really entertaining to watch. Yeah, they cut that away from us. One day, the opening keeps showing us Asta versus Junior, right? So, what happens somewhere else? But, yeah. I'm disappointed in that kind of way to not make Asta win and don't have that final battle between them. I really am. I'm just gonna say that. That's the first thing, right? Didn't like it. Also, again, I actually didn't like the whole narration of it because Dear Crystal, as I mentioned, it just kind of broke in the background, right? It didn't even show like, Baha or what's her name, Fragile Island. It didn't show her or him like attacking the crystal from the side, maybe like something like that would have been so much better if they was like, bam, yeah, at the same time. That would have been 10 times better in my opinion. So it would be more like, okay. Asta defeated him, but the team actually did something and they won, and yeah, like that would have made much more sense than like, oh, the time was out, pretty much. Yeah, like, oh, he had bad luck. If he was 1 second faster, he would have won, right? That's feel like a bit disappointing. I actually do, but for real, so I'm disappointed in it. But one thing I did love though, one thing I did love though was of course that after they beat up Langris, Zora got over there. They're like, you trash character, you trash Baha, you trash. Like, that's right, bottom trash. Bottom trash character. Yeah, that was great. But also, as he explained to them, like, you two are freaking trash because this guy over there, he's a shitty noble guy, horrible person, horrible personality, all that, you know, bad shit. But you two just watched him fight. You didn't even try to help him. You stood here and were like, oh, that's a pretty strong guy. So you were 100% relying on this douchebag noble guy, which is a noble, right? You surrendered, you said, yeah, you AFK the whole battle. You two are freaking yokes. So I think that's a great speech here. He's completely right. He's completely right? Baha is also a trash character, but then you showed how trashy he is because he's like, oh, this noble was kind of can probably win, yeah, whatever. And he kind of didn't even try to win. And as I mentioned, yes, it would be a lot better if they actually did good crystal, but at the same time, it shows how useless he is, right? He used to watch the battle. They could have so easily helped Langris, right? They could have entered the battle, throw some sleep frost spell, whatever, on Asta, or maybe something like that, right? And maybe shoot Mimosa or something, healing them, you know, something like that. And they would have easily won, right? So he's 100% corrected how incredibly useless they were. We were just like in awe, right, of how good Langris was. Didn't even try to help him. He didn't want help, I know, but he could have like, yeah. So that was a great speech, 100% correct. Especially Baha, ultimate trash character, yeah. Except his friends, then they're even more trash because they're following him, right? Then you have to be even more trash. I mean, again, check out my male top character list. When I explained that, I probably spent 5 or more minutes explaining why these two guys, Afro, another guy's name, I forgot about it, are even worse than him, right? Because if you're following a guy that's an ultimate trashy character, but you are following him, you're his little lackey, then you're obviously worse than him, yeah, because you're like looking after him, so you have bigger issues than he have, right? Yeah, but whatever. That was great, and then of course it ended with like, and I have to learn to have like better friendship and like, you know, kind of answer with like admitting that I have to, Asta, you trust people too easily, and I have to start trusting people, yeah. So he's obviously gonna join the Black Bulls. He fits them perfectly right. He's a peasant guy. He hates nobody. He's the perfect fit for the Black Bulls, definitely. We're very surprised if Yami or whatever wouldn't quit him afterwards. Yeah, because we know, of course, with his backstory last episode, 2 episodes ago, that he is, of course, not an actual member, right, of the Magic Knights. Unless he's a hidden member or something, whatever, but probably not. So there's that battle. I did like the draw, otherwise it was good. Yeah, the draw was horrible, but otherwise good. And the trash speech was awesome. But and there was the 2 quick battles, right, which I like in the Clover. They kind of just quickly, they kind of just end these no-name battles. In one way I like it, another way I don't like it. It depends on how the character are gonna be shown later. Like in other animes, where they have tournament arcs, right? They might spend a lot of time actually sometimes on the side characters. But then usually those side characters will have more and more storylines eventually. But here it feels like, okay, but Clover has a lot of characters, and 3 vs 3 too. So it's like, you know, there's 3 guys, Yuno beats 3 of them, all 3 of them are like no-named, so I mean, like, you have no storyline, yeah, supportive, very side characters. And if you're gonna spend that battle for like 10 minutes, we have to like really explain those characters. So I actually really like to do like whatever they're out, yeah. I like that because if it was like a one-on-one, then maybe I wanted to actually be like an actual battle and learn about this character. But now there are 3 characters, yeah, I guess a little bit like whatever, just finish it. So I like it actually. I think it was better. Real though, incredibly OP. He wins against 2 named characters. Yeah, him instead though. He beat I guess 3 named Feather. I guess Pauline. Yeah, she's kind of like a sports character there, but he beats Luck and Klaus in one second, right? So he actually really fits them. And in that aspect, I feel that Real is the man to beat, right? Because yes, Yuno is OP, like crazy OP, but Real, again, he actually beats 2 characters we very much know about. And he's like, well, they're out, yeah, they're out. And it's a captain level. And I do actually hope, so next episode, gonna be a battle, but final battle. I really hope that Real actually wins, right? Because Real, again, he beat 2 named characters and a third, like, half named, yeah, like a somewhat character to we know about now. He beat those guys, and now he's gonna fight Yuno and Noelle and Swamp Guy, Mushroom Guy, and he looks to be he's a captain, right? And one thing that I don't like is if it's too easy for Yuno, right? Yuno has his like Yuno beat the generals from Diamond Kingdom, even though they were the hybrid berry generals. He still beat them, but it felt kind of like, man, Yuno has leveled up so much, and he beats the 3 guys without using Sylph. He beats them with his own magic, right? And I'm like, man, I don't want Yuno to just go in there and like stomp Real, right? That's what's gonna happen though. We see in the preview right away that they have like a massive battle, and actually looks really good. Yeah, the battle actually looks like better animated again, better animation quality and so on. So that battle is probably really awesome. No matter what happens though, no matter who wins, it actually probably be a long battle, right? But anyway, I still want the captain to win, right? In one way, I like it about Clover that the captains are beaten kind of easily or into the fighting and so on. But Clover has a higher pacing, right? There's a Bleach had that it took them like ages to get a captain battle, right? He's like right away pretty much to fight the captain level and so on, which in one way works out really well, but I also don't want it to be too easy to kind of go in and beat the captain, right? So I hope Real wins. But I would say one thing though, in Real's position though, so I actually could see him lose, and that's why I keep saying him, right? I think that's a big thing, honestly. Yes, it's obviously gonna be like Real versus Yuno mainly, but Yuno has the best school team, right? He has Noelle, one of the top waifus, right, with him, Babe, Noelle, right, and smash the ball like crazy. Yeah, but Noelle is obviously gonna be there, right? And she is also very, very strong. And she's a character development, between the brother solid. She's a stronger and stronger character, so she's probably gonna help out, right? And then we have the fungus mushroom magic that actually seems to be pretty competent. So they have a much stronger team, right? And then Black Clover, so about those team battles, right? But I like it because Black Clover is one of the few animes I feel, shonen animes, where it's like Nakama, but they actually are fighting together, especially the video battle. Right? They're actually fighting like 3 versus 1, 4 versus 1, and so on. Like they actually are like we are, a group of adventurers together against this boss, right? And not like, like fairy tale main. I think Asta is like Asta's alone in the forest. I believe in Nakama. She's like 10 times stronger attack for some reason because she has friends somewhere else. Yeah, I just believe in friendship and they just power up. Yeah, it's like no, this doesn't make a goddamn sense. So from that aspect, right, they seem to have a much better chance. Real, I hope, and it looks like he's a much stronger character than Yuno, in my opinion. He looks way stronger right now, at least. Obviously, Yuno's gonna go past him. Yuno's gonna surpass him, of course, captains. But for this moment, I feel he's stronger than Yuno was one, right? But he has 2 more characters in Noelle then. With his 2 characters, they're completely nobodies. Yeah, his 2 characters are just like 2 guys that's like, oh, we better help him or something. Yeah, like so they are probably gonna do nothing, right? So I think that's gonna be his weakness, though. It's gonna be him alone, I think. Very, very certainly. He's gonna be probably doing everything in his team. But whatever. That's my prediction for next episode. But I still think it's important to mention here that I really hope that Yuno's gonna win, because I think he's having a too easy time. I said it a few episodes back too. I think it's too easy for him, so I want him to not be the captain, right? So I think is important to mention here. One last thing I want to mention, though, negative point here, but one more thing is that, man, there was some bad recap, though. Yeah, This episode felt similar to the early episodes. Episode like 15, 16, around 10, 8, a bit there. Where they had a recap after the commercial break, so it's back to that shit again. Hopefully, that's only this episode, but that definitely ruined, I think, the moment a bit. Yeah. So first of all, very long recap, right? So the opening and recap was 4.5 minutes. So you already have like a quarter of the episode before the episode actually starts. So that's reminiscing of the early episodes where Clover was the worst of it was. Clover was a good. Clover, I kept watching it because I felt it has a great potential. I saw the anime had potential. I like the main character storyline. Master of Season 2, of course, which is the same storyline, but yeah, so it's actually very, very similar to Sega Frontier to the Pillar game. It's basically the exact same big story with the main character, the sword guy and anti-mutant madness, whatever. My favorite game is Prison 1, yeah. It's very similar to that, so I like the thing, but the problem wasn't the screaming. The screaming wasn't bad, okay? The screaming was pretty annoying. It wasn't the worst thing ever. I felt it was pretty annoying. I could live with it, but it's kind of annoying, yeah. The worst thing in the beginning of the Clover, and it was actually nothing to do, it was probably the first 20 episodes, was the very long recaps, right? Bad pacing generally. Some filler episode in the beginning, filler pacing in the beginning, where it didn't go anywhere. But Clover was a very fast manga, right? So that's kind of weird. And just those like ridiculous recaps where they had like a commercial break and then a recap that happened before the break, usually without even editing it. You just have like a big block of time frame, horribly done in the early episodes. And this was like that, right? Usually a lesser version of that. But they basically have Asta cutting him, right? And then the next scene is the exact same scene again. So to rewatch, it's a cool scene, but to rewatch it, you saw it like a second ago, yeah. And you see it again, it makes a little more sense. It was for TV, right? For watching it on whatever console or so on, it makes no sense whatsoever. It's really annoying. So I think that really downed the episode for me a large part, yeah. We haven't seen those ridiculous recaps for like a year, or I don't know, but for a long time at least. It's been a while since we had really bad that kind of recap thing, and having that plus the really long opening part, right? So it's like 4.5 minutes, then that minute. So the episode altogether probably had like 6 or so minutes of completely nonsense, right? Complete nonsense. Early episode like 10 minutes. Early episodes were worse. In the beginning, it was even worse, way worse. But still, though, like a cool battle. But you could remove like 6 minutes. The episode could be like 15, 14 minutes. It would be the exact same episode. And it would be way better paced, right? And the exact same thing was in the beginning of the anime. But then they had even worse episode where they had like 10 minutes could be removed. So you could have like a 9, 8 minute episodes sometimes, yeah. So then it was even worse, because then there was some episode where nothing happened at all. They used to recap forever, and then they recap again, and so on. So it was like that, but at a lesser scale, right? So still annoying to me a lot, but next episode looks good. The next episode is way better animated. Anyway, hope you like this review. See you guys hopefully soon with Isekai Quartet coming out in 4 hours roughly for now. Best anime season, right? And have a good days, and Flatman Punishment, of course, and tomorrow Shield Hero and so on. All the good anime stuff.